Unanimously, the Multnomah County Board of Commissioners just approved a more than $3 billion budget for the next fiscal year. Where most of that money is going towards three of the county's most pressing issues: chronic homelessness, behavioral health, and violence.
What this budget funds is a very holistic county-wide approach to people who are experiencing houseless instability.
This new budget, up 17% from last year's, is a welcome change, seen as the county has faced declining budgets over the past 2 decades, forcing them to constantly cut services and staff. With help from taxes and money from the American Rescue Plan, the county is now expected to begin stabilizing social services, especially those dealing with homelessness.
But what it also does is it addresses some of the community's most pressing concerns that we've really seen emerge since COVID.
$15.5 million will go towards launching new mental health resources. This includes a behavioral health and transitional housing center opening in downtown Portland this fall, and $1.9 million towards expanding a behavioral health pilot program that provides emergency motel shelter beds and crisis case management.
What this budget does is really pull all of those parts of the county together to holistically address some of the issues and get as many people into shelter, behavioral health treatment, and ultimately into the supportive services that will get them housed and keep them housed.
A record $183.2 million is being invested to help a county-wide response to those experiencing homelessness. $255.5 million will go directly to the Joint Office of Homeless Services. Almost half comes from the voter-approved Metro Supportive Housing Services measure. $130 million of that will support more than 2,000 year-round adult shelter beds, and $106 million to place people in permanent housing. Now, we asked the Joint Office how this breaks down more specifically.
This is a lot of money. And if I'm doing the math correctly here, it breaks down to about $65,000 per shelter bed. I mean, that's more than many people make in a year. So how does that work? How does that break down?
Part of that funding is not just for operations. That's for new shelter. It's capital costs, right? So some of that is building spaces, not just operating the beds that we have. It also shows that shelter is necessary. And we are adding more because we know that there are folks who don't have another place to go.
As you know, staffing has been an issue for many businesses and programs across the city. So how do you plan to staff these new services?
That staffing is a challenge throughout every sector. So part of what we're doing is there's been some discussion, the board approved some funding to increase salaries.
$4.2 million will be set aside for future labor costs affected by inflation and economic uncertainty.
We've turned a corner toward optimism and toward the belief that we can actually do some things around these issues.
The 2023 fiscal year starts July 1st, so the community can expect to start seeing the impacts of this new budget as soon as next month. In Portland, Blair Best, KGW News.